Is this one working? Okay. It's working now. That's great. I love when I schedule a stream and then the audio doesn't work. But this one seems to be working. So hopefully everyone will find this one and whatever. Man, that's such a kick in the gut when that happens. And to be fair, I checked the audio before we started and it was working. So that's really annoying. I for those of you who live stream on YouTube, just know that when you use the webcam live stream feature, you have these problems. When you use the stream, like where you are using a streaming device to do it, like I never have that problem. But every time that that problem arises, it's when I'm using YouTube's own um, stream software or whatever. And it's funny because it happens with my phone too. So it's not just yada, yada, yada. But anyway, so today we are going to do the Home Depot art haul. And I think what we're going to talk about today as well, besides this is the last day for members of the channel to send in their poems or articles or essays or whatever you've been working on this year for the Anarchy Crew anthology. So, yay. I have 3 submissions so far. And if we don't get 8, then we're going to have to figure out another way of doing this. I think if we get 8, we'll do the chapbook, like the printed version. If we don't hit that number, it'll just be like a digital download because like it needs to be big enough to put in a book and fold, if you know what I'm saying. So that's that. So thank you everyone who was on the ball and sent stuff in. You guys are awesome. Maybe the people who sent stuff in, who sent multiple things, I will put more of your things in than just the one. Maybe we'll do it like that. That sounds like a plan. Anyway, so I am going to do the Home Depot haul here, but I also wanted to go over some things because a lot of people feel like it's hard to start painting or drawing or whatever because they don't have the right supplies. Like tools are important and all this other stuff. And so I don't want to call it artist hacks necessarily, but there are a lot of things that you probably already have that you can use to do the things you need to do without paying like $30 for a porcelain palette. You know what I'm saying? So we'll be talking about that stuff as well. And then in probably, I don't know, 40 minutes or something, we will switch over to the members feed and I'll give you a little bit of background of things that I'm working on and all of the multitudes of things I'm doing, like what the updates on all that stuff are. So join the crew down below. What was I gonna tell you guys about that? Oh, wherever you guys are, drop it in the chat. Let me know where you're hanging out. Um, I'm out of coffee, so we're going straight to the fun stuff that will make us sick to our stomach. There it is. As far as the art show, the Life Through Chaos exhibition, I'm very nervous about it, just in the sense of me not knowing exactly what pieces are going in. I have an idea, but there's also probably about 5 or 6 pieces that I want to do some finishing touches on. So that's a whole thing. So I am excited. I am excited. I just tomorrow I'm going down to the gallery and going over everything and walking the room and doing all that shit. So it'll be fun. It'll be good. There are going to be a lot of changes happening in my life over the next 4 weeks. So, for those of you who enjoy chaotic drama, let's say, when you watch the life of someone on YouTube, you are going to see all sorts of stuff. Not only am I moving again, but I'm like moving like 3 things. Like I'm moving out of this location to a new location, hopefully in Santa Monica. That's the fingers crossed thing. But I'm also moving my kid out of my kid's place, which just happens to be my old place, from over a year ago. And then I am moving all of my work into that old place. So there's basically going to be 3 moves in the course of, I don't know, like a month. So if I'm honest, this is how this is going to go. Move out of this place into multiple storage units. Find the new apartment, move into the new apartment. Nikki Jam, hello. Move into the new apartment. Then move from the storage unit into the new apartment. Move my kid out of the other apartment into the new apartment, and then move my work stuff into the old apartment. So it's going to be crazy. So hopefully you guys like moving vlogs. Yeah, I'm a mover and shaker, you know, so that's how we do it. I might as well buy stock in U-Haul. What is up, Chris? Yeah, dude. Big Wave. Hi, how you doing? But speaking of Big Wave, I am very excited to be able to move within walking distance of the ocean. For those of you who know me, that has always been my dream. So that should be really cool. But yeah, if you guys have any questions about anything, Sandra, what's up? Yeah, no, logistics, like that ship has sailed. Like, this is going to be one of those things where if I thought about it a little longer, I probably could have done this all in one big swoop. Like, just get a U-Haul for 2 days and just drive around in circles and getting everything out. It's not going to be like that. I'm probably going to have to get 7 U-Haul trucks over the course of 3 weeks to pull this whole thing off. It's actually very silly when you think about it. Sindra, I might be staying on your couch. So, so keep the light on for me. Um, there's when I look at the dates that things are lining up, there are two different periods where the dates don't match. So there's like this weird window, and then there's overlap, and it's it's yours. Dude, I'll even put a sleeping bag on your balcony. That's fine. Um, hey, how you doing? Where are you from? Where are you, DC Long, writing from? I could take a guess, but I'm not gonna. Um, my guesses are usually poor. But yeah, so today, North Carolina. Yeah, I would have been way off on that one. Um, North Carolina. My nephew lived in North Carolina for a while, and now he's in Dallas. But anyway, um, so today we're going to be going over artist hacks. I want to also talk to you, and this is straight out of the Anarchy Crew course that members can take. But I want to know about your why. Like, why do you do anything? What is your why? That is going to be the kind of homework assignment for you this week. Why do you create what you create? Why do you want to create what you want to create? Why do you do anything? Like, what is your purpose? And I know this is like almost like big ass existential, like kind of crazy bullshit, but I like food. Food is good. Wait, what is that? I like food. Food is good. Is that the Descendants? Who is that? Anyway, um, yeah, food's good. That's why I do what I do. I like food. No, but seriously, like, what? You need to knock it off, sir. Yeah, enough of that. I do all things so I can eat. Yeah, eating's good. That's a good reason. Now, that's a good reason. Um, that is a reason. I don't know if that's necessarily a why, because you do have a career. Because I want to be the second one in my family to earn a Nobel Prize. There you go. And Caitlin, I still haven't received your submission for the um, anthology. Every time. This is so funny. This thing over here sleeps all day long, doesn't do jack. The second I do one of these things, it's insanity. Um, yeah, I just called you out. So, Caitlin, you're in trouble now. But yeah, so why do we do the things we do? Like the reason like I hustle the way I've hustled over my life was so I could have a roof over my head and um, kind of give my kid the illusion that she had a healthy childhood. But why do we create what we create? Like, why? Like, what drives us? What motivates us? What's our inner story to do the things that we do? Like, it's just something interesting to think about, because I hear this more and more lately, um, than probably I ever have. And I think a lot of it has to do with, oh my effing G, that scared the stuff out of me. Okay, you need to knock it off. Oh my God, this fucking thing. What a nightmare. The does not like me giving attention to other people. Every woman in my life, right there, summed up in a cat. Anyhow, I do it because I love the chaos of creation. Creating something out of nothing and watching strangers enjoy it fascinates me. There you go. That's a really good answer. Um, and then I would think what the next thought of that would be is, whoa, my God, is how to push that further. Like, what do you do then? Once you see what you have done for people and what they see when they look at your work, what's the next step? Like, how can you push those people further? How can you create the next step of enjoyment for those people? Not that your artwork should be focused on making other people happy, but they're the litmus test, you know? Like, they're the, like when I was, when I got back into making movies and I got into that group where we were having to film a movie every month and screen it before an audience. Like, my whole thing was, what can I do to like elicit reaction out of an audience? Like, how can I subvert their expectations and create something for them to like kind of freak out about? Like, what can I do? And so that was kind of like a good driver for that. So that was fun. But yeah, so we're just talking. We're just talking stuff, guys. So yeah, so any pieces for the anthology, you got to get those into me. Today was the deadline, but if you hit me up and tell me, like, give you a couple days, that would be next. I try to evolve instead of acclimate in an honest direction. I fall apart when I try to force it. Oh, ain't that the truth, dude? Forcing stuff never works. Forcing stuff never works. It just makes you sad. And then you walk away from it and give up. And as soon as you give up, you have an idea like, oh, yeah, I could do this thing. And then everything works out. So that's always good. But yeah, so the other thing we're going to talk about is just like artist hacks, to be able to get stuff inexpensively and use stuff that you already have to be able to get the stuff that you want to get. Right? My gosh, this thing's crazy. Why are you being so crazy? God. It's making me absolutely bonkers. You're about to get put in a room, son. Okay, so I guess we'll just get into it. We'll just jump straight in. Home Depot haul. Let's do it. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Let's put it. No, well, I kind of like it here so we can see what we're doing, but we're not going to do that. Okay, we're going to go little. So first off, I got the bucket because you always need a bucket, and they're like a couple dollars. So you get a bucket, everything's fine. All right, so this haul was, let me see, how much did I spend? I think like 26, 27, somewhere in that window there. But first, we'll just go over these little things. These brushes, like, these are my favorite brushes. Like, these just like janky little wood made in Indonesia brushes. They're like anywhere from $1 to $2. They're great for what I need. Could I spend $40 on a brush? Yeah. If I'm doing like cool, nice oil paintings, I'll do that. But when I'm doing more like abstract stuff, especially bigger pieces, like just give me whatever I could push paint on with, and we're done. So yeah, so I have a 2-inch, a 3-inch, and a 1-inch, and that makes 6 inches, guys. So don't laugh at that. And then these things are always good to have for when you're doing finishes or glazes. I don't know what they're called, little fucking sponge sticks. I don't know. But also, they give you a nice different texture when you're painting. Like if you want something to not look like brushwork, this is really cool to have. So whenever I go, I get different ones of these. I hardly ever use them, but I like to have them around when I do need something like that. And I would never use this on something really big. It would take me the rest of my life. So for like smaller pieces, like things like this are really cool. And again, these are like $1. So even if I don't necessarily need it when I go, I'll just pick one up. So I have like a accumulation of little guys like this. Now, again, if you go to Blick or any art store and get this stuff, I already just showed you like probably like $30 worth of stuff. Okay. So everything else I have here is now like profit, if that makes any sense. Now, I did get this because I saw it and I was like, ooh, that's interesting. And this might have been a very stupid purchase, but I want to try it and see. So what we have here is the Wooster Shortcut All Paints Flexible Handle Adds Control 2-inch Angle. They didn't have just a flat one, but I would have loved a flat one. But that's okay. So we're going to open this right now so I could demonstrate some stuff for you. So this is probably the most expensive brush I ever purchased at a hardware store, and it was like, I don't know, like $3 or something like that, $4. Oh, come on, guys. Okay, so this is what the brush looks like. Okay. Oh man, look at that. And so yeah, you have to have tweezers so you could like go on your painting and pull off all the hairs, because these brushes will leave hairs on your painting, but it's fine. Sometimes I leave them in there because they look kind of fun. So yeah, so this is a 2-inch, 50 millimeter. Look at that. Oh, that's a nice feeling brush right there. But yeah, so I got this because of this handle. It bends. It's flexible. I could just hold it like this, like a jumbo crayon in my big stupid hand. Like I'm like a toddler in preschool angrily drawing with orange paint, a angry man yelling at the ice cream truck or something like that. This flexible handle and like it being little, and I could just hold it like this. This really, like, I don't know what I'm going to use this for. If this is going to be something to just put a base coat on something, or if this is something to like put finishes on. I'm like, oh, I could just go to town. Maybe just feather stuff. That just feels good. So this might be something I'm excited about, but we'll see. Maybe I will stream the first time I use this thing. But yeah, so this was a total impulse buy. Probably shouldn't have got it. But yeah, that is fun. A hard, flexible rubber handle. My God, what will they think of next? So the other thing that I went because I actually needed was, I hate using palettes, like typical palettes. It just drives me crazy. I hate it. And so I was going to get some mud boxes, which I will show you in a minute if you don't know what a mud box is, because those are like my favorite things to mix paint in. Mindy, hello. I do not have something for you for the anthology. Make sure you send that to me today or tomorrow. I'm not trying to call you out. I'm just saying hello. So anyway, so I picked up this thing. And I mean, it says it right on the thing. It's a handy paint cup. You can't go wrong with a handy paint cup. But when I'm standing or moving around, I like to be able to hold the thing that I have, and I hate little flat pallets. They drive me crazy. I like using like buckets of paint. Um, we call those kettles in the UK. This, I put hot water in my kettle. Well, it's cold when I put it in, but it's hot when I take it out. That's what she said. So anyway, so this is the little thing, the little UK kettle. It's not a handy paint cup. But the thing that I think is kind of cool about this, because I just want something to like mix paint in, and the next um series of paintings I'm going to be doing, um I'm not only going to be like making a lot of my paint, not from scratch, but I have been looking into actually making my paint from scratch, and that might be something that I start doing. But I'm going to be adding a lot of things to my paint, and um, the idea of me pouring all of this stuff into my paint and mixing my paint in any of the vessels that I have that would be um, like that would make sense wasn't making sense. So being able to pour a bunch of stuff in here is cool, and mix it with stick. But what I love about this thing, okay, so I'm sitting here painting my shit. It's got a magnet, so I could just like hold my brush. So I could like turn this upside down. The paint's gonna fall out, but the paintbrush is gonna stay put. That's awesome. So I just do a little bit of painting. Boom. I'm going to use this one now. I'm going to do a little bit of painting. A little painting. Boom. It's stuck in there. My God, magnets. They change everything. They have saved my life. So anyway, so we're going to try this. The handle is a little small for my mitts, but we're going to see. Because normally what I do, or what I like to do, is use the next thing I'm going to show you here, which is a mud box. Now, the reason why I love mud boxes is because they're big. I can hold them with one hand, no big deal, whatever. And I know a lot of this sounds stupid. You're like, what, you could hold it with one hand? Congratulations. You have a superhuman power now. And it's not so much that, it's just when I'm like doing stuff and then I set stuff down and then I come back, I don't want to have to think about like knocking something over, because I don't know if you guys have been in the situation where you knock things over because things, and I'm going to show you some stuff. So we'll get to that in a minute. But anyway, so here we go. So I have my mud box. I can mix my paint in here. I can hold a lot of paint in here, and I'm just holding it like this. The other thing I really like about these mud boxes is they have these like metal um like edges, like these hard metal edges. So it makes it so much easier. Like if you get a lot of paint and you're like trying to, I know all of you guys are saying this is just like what an edge does. But for me, it works really well and I like it, and I could just set them down. I should show you what my, because I only had one of these because I was just trying it out to see if I liked it. And I liked it so much, I just kept using it and using it and using it and using it. So I'm going to show you what my other box looks like. That's what she said. So we're going to get this out here. I'm going to get all the stuff that I normally do stuff with so I can show you guys. Oh yeah, we're going to do a whole thing here. Oh my gosh, look at all these cool things we're going to do right now. Oh yeah, we're doing it. We're doing it. Oh my gosh, look at me getting stuff out. Okay, so anyway, so the mud box that I normally use is absolutely like full of crap, and I need to like soak it and scrape all of the chunky matter out of here. So that is something I'm going to do. But that one I want to use for more like when I'm mixing uh, non-liquid substances in my paint. And I want to keep these other ones for just liquid. Okay, let me see. Ooh, it has a gadget. See, gadgets are fun, guys. So we're going to talk about that. And so just for like a palette, like these things drive me crazy. Like these little tiny circles right here. Like if I'm using a brush the size of like a normal person's eyebrow, and I'm just like going like this, trying to make light shine a little different on someone's face. Yeah, I could see me using a tinge of paint. But the thing that I hate when you're painting is when you're just using tinges of paint, you start having the scarcity in your head. Like, I'm going to run out of paint, so I can't use very much. Paint's kind of expensive, so I can't use very much. And you start like just going really small. And that really like fucks with your creativity because it turns, instead of you making something that you want to make, you're now censoring your what you could do because you're afraid of losing paint. So I'm just like in the mindset now where I'm going to put as much paint as I can, like that I think I'm going to use, and just go and not worry about all that other shit. Another thing I have done in the past is take like takeout containers and use the lids or the pans for different things. If I'm doing smaller things and I'm just mixing little colors to get little things, I'll use the lid. If I'm trying to get like a bigger batch of paint, I'll use the pan. And then the cool thing about this is you can put a lid on it and shut it, and then you can keep it. When I was doing the black sand paintings, when I was making the paint for that, I used takeout containers all the time. Like that was like, I would make the paint in the takeout container and store it like that. And I even moved it from West Hollywood out to here in a U-Haul truck in a container like that. And it didn't open or spill because that would have been a nightmare. But I did do it. Look at that. So anyway, so that is that. The next thing I got was, and then I'll show you what the big thing was. But the next thing I picked up was just one of these, it's called a tape knife. Whatever. I just need a hard line to, if I ever want to do hard edges on anything, do that. Scraper, it's good for a scraper, obviously, to just like pull paint and all that other crap. But normally what I use for this kind of thing is like a credit card or like one of these things. And this is fine if you're doing like a 12 by 12 or like a 16 by 20 or something like that. But once you start getting bigger than that, like trying to do a hard edge line through a 24-inch painting with like a 4-inch thing, it makes you go crazy. So not that this is even the biggest one you could get, but this is a good size for the size of most of the paintings that I do. So this was a pretty good thing. Like I needed to get it, so that's fine. Again, if you went to a art supply store and got the same things that I'm talking about here, we already would have spent $100, like easy. But the final thing that I purchased was green frog tape. Okay. Why would you get green frog tape, sir? Because normally I use like just blue painter's tape because it's cheap. Okay. And when I do like my paintings, like the forest through the tree ones, like here, I'll show you and give you examples. This is a good one to show. So like this is number 3 out of those. And so when I'm using the blue painter's tape, what happens is, what do they call it? Your lines just aren't sharp. I don't know how else to explain it. Where is that? piece. So like right here, like, do you see like right here how there's all these little like bubbles on there, or not bubbles, but just like little parts where the paint bled through the tape? That's cool. And on these paintings, I really do like that. But on the attention paintings, I don't like that. So some of the paintings I did in the attention series, the ones that have the black rectangles on them, where is a good example of those? Let me see. Here's a big one. We'll just use this one right now. So like this guy here, like when I'm doing the rectangles, like those you can't really tell because they look like the drip, so that's fine. But in other ones I've done, this black rectangle has not come out exactly the way I want. So I want to clean those up and fix those up. And what this tape does, can you see? Can you see how straight that line is? No leaks. No leaks, guys. This is like one of those super awesome pull-up diapers or a pad with wings. There's no leaks. There's no leaks. So yeah, so that's why I got that. What was the other? Oh, another little thing I will show you guys. And a lot of you are going to be like, why don't you clean your tools? I do clean my tools. I just usually don't do it when I'm supposed to. So, one thing that I love using is palette knives, and like ridiculous palette knives. Like, yes, the little tiny plastic palette knives are fun, and I use those a lot too. But I don't know if it's because they're little. I don't know where any of them are. I had like a bag of like 10 or whatever, and I can't find any of them. So these like metal ones, and they're flexy, so it's good. If you get ones that are too hard, you're gonna just like cut your painting up, like you'll go right through the canvas. But these are from Liquitex kind of thing, and these aren't cheap. These are pretty expensive little, I mean, they're not expensive, but they're more expensive than they probably should be for what they are, because you get it at an art store. Okay. So there is that. So these were probably like $7 and $10 respectively. Okay. But I do use those quite a bit. And then what I found, and this was right before Thanksgiving, was this guy. Okay. It's a little harder, so I have to be careful with it when I use it, but it's not super hard. But this, okay, basically the exact same thing as this, almost. Okay. This was $1 at Walmart for a cake froster. Same kind of thing. I'm going to scoop, spoon, kind of thing. So check all the places that you normally go to. If you go to Dollar Tree, hang out at Dollar Tree and see what they have. The flexier the knife, the better. But even spatulas, like rubber spatulas at like the dollar store, work great for like doing things that a palette knife will do when you're painting. I've got one of those for smoothing buttercream on a cake. Yeah. You're like, I have that exact same thing. Yeah, it was like 97 cents at Walmart or something. So that totally was like a nice little steal. But yeah, like Dollar Tree, or I don't think they have 99-cent stores anymore. But like any of those little discount stores, when you go, um, they have tons of weird little kitchen items, and you would be surprised how many kitchen items can be turned into like paint supplies. Not only that, but also if you're in like a store like that, go into the makeup department and just look at makeup brushes, and you could probably find some really cool soft brushes that you're not going to be able to use forever, but you could probably use in a painting or two before they completely go to shit, maybe longer depending on how you take care of your brushes. Um, like Tupperware stuff is just as good. Like if you could get like a 9 pack of like little Tupperware, like food storage containers to like hold your paint in. Like that is probably better than you spending $30 on Thai takeout to be able to use the containers afterwards. So there's all these little things like that. Um, you just have to like go up and down. Honestly, also the automotive aisle. There's also cool little things in there, and I'm trying to think of any. Oh, well, here's one. They used to have these ashtrays that were like a cup, kind of like this, but were like the size of like a can because they would also fit in a cup holder, but they had a hook and you could hold on to the hook. That's a cool little thing if you want to like hold a bit of paint into your stuff. There's all sorts of like just kind of interesting things when you go to places like that are really cheap because it's like a dollar store or something like that. So one of the things that I see people do all the time, do I still have that there or did that get thrown out? I think that got thrown out. So we'll talk about that a bit later. But one of the things that people like have a real hard time with is what they clean their brushes in while they're painting. So this here is probably the narrowest thing I would ever use to like, you put water in it, you leave your brushes in it if there's paint on them, you get, you just do your thing. A lot of people will like fill this up like super high. And if you fill it up high, it makes it heavier so it's not gonna like fall. But just like little hint, try to never put the water higher than the what do you call this? The not the filbert, the fennel. I don't know, whatever. Don't get the metal wet. Let's just do that. So when you're going to put water in here, just make sure that you're only doing water to where the brush is in there, You don't want it to go crazy. But if you have something like narrow, like a glass or something, and let me see. Let's see if I could do some. And you're like, oh no, oh God, there's water all over all my shit. Then like you're gonna be really pissed off, and it's gonna stress you the f out. So there are a couple things that I think work really well. I used to have it here, but it's not an eyesight, so I don't know where it went. But the like Cascade, like dishwasher pod box thing, that's like a wide box, like a wide plastic thing. And some of them are even kind of short, so it's not that big of a deal. But like you're not going to knock that thing over. Okay. And another thing that you're not going to knock over is pretzel nuggets. God damn it, guys. Get yourself some pretzel nuggets. But this is great too. Let me get a brush. We'll use this big dumb brush. So we'll use this brush. But if you are using this for the thing to water, like just right there, like I'm like you're not going to knock this thing over, So the wider the base, the better. You could also hold on to it if you wanted to. You have a lid for it if you need it. It's just like something like this size is so much better. And like honestly, the last thing you want to do is like knock something over and ruin a painting because like you're just like in the zone and you're like not paying attention or somebody comes in or a freaking jumps up on the table. So these are really, really good for that. Um, Another thing I've been doing is just kind of hanging on to containers of any kind. And I go through these a lot. Like this is the majority of my diet, guys. But this, like these little containers, and it has a little lip here too to get the paint off your brush. If you're mixing small amounts of paint, these little things are great. And it's not that this lid is going to keep this from spilling, but it's a good little, oops, it's a good little thing if you just need a little bit. There are little paint cans that you could get that have like normal metal lids like paint cans have, that are great if you want to buy a bunch of little paint cans, like that have never had anything in them before. They're brand new. Um, Ad Reinhardt used to make like his paints and things like that too. Where I mean, a lot of painters have made paints in little cans, but for him, like mixing the paint in there by hand, like putting the lid on it and mixing it to get the gloss out of paint. And then he would like open it and pour because the paint settles at the bottom and the gloss kind of comes up to the top. So he would pour all the gloss out of the paint and then mix it with some like turpentine and stuff in there to separate the stuff, mix it, pour it out, and all this other stuff. But having like little cans like this especially if you're doing like little experiments with different paints to see what can happen, is a really cool idea. And then if you need to store this and you still have all of this blue tape because you're using green frog tape now, you just tape it up, tape it across the top, right, with your Sharpie, pink, I don't know. And now you have another paint container. So anyway, so these are just like little things I do to not have to buy things. So yes, I do buy some things, but most of the time, um, I don't know. And again, people who are doing like very realistic paintings or very like rich oil paintings, a lot of the stuff I just showed you probably won't work for you because you need to have like really good materials so your paintings don't look like shit. But it's a poor carpenter that blames his tools. Am I right? I have one poem I really like. I am going to send it to you. Mindy, that is amazing. That means we have four submissions and then me, so that's 5. So that's good. We're almost there, guys. We're almost there. Yeah. So do you guys have any questions about my ridiculous Home Depot haul and how for the most part my art studio makes me look like I am a hobo living in a train car? Let me know. Also, I might send something later tonight. My kids have made things very difficult. Hey, Caitlin, I know all about that. I only have one. And my kid does whatever my kid can do to make my life difficult. Having half of a football team as your children also would make things very difficult. But anyway, you got this. So that is all of that stuff. I almost sent a photo of my oldest kid's sketches. Do it. Let me see. But yeah, so I am very happy with this stuff. But again, maybe I should do, oh, you know what's another cool place to get stuff? And I know we've talked about this before. Yeah, one is enough. Daiso. I don't know if you guys have Daisos where you are, but Daiso has tons of really inexpensive art supplies and really inexpensive things that you could turn into art supplies. Um, I love me some Daiso. That's like one of my favorite places. So definitely run over there if you can to get some stuff. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited with all my little brushes. Let's see. So yeah, so I'm going to change this thing into a member stream, and yeah, we're gonna do it in 5 minutes. Okay. So if you are a member, I think you just stay here and it redirects you. Last time we did this, it didn't. So we will see if this works. But yeah, all tier levels will be redirected. If you're not a tier level, or if you're not a member, I think whole the whole shebang just ends, which is fine. We'll see you next time, or you could just join. So click that button, guys. But yeah, so do you have any questions in the last 4 minutes of regulation here? If you do, ask away. You know what we're going to do? We're going to change the scenery of this shit. We are going to go for a walk. So here we go. We are going to look at the desert. Adventure time for sure. So let's take a look out here. Let's take a look. It's very bright. Let's see how far we could go before we lose connection. Let's see. Oh yeah, we could see some things. Look at how pretty all that is. The sky looks amazing right now. Good job, sky. You're killing it. We'll walk over here. Take a look at the view. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it very well. Yeah, so there's some little mountain things. Then we'll go this way. Let's see some more little mountain things, can we? No, the sky. Oh, wait, yeah. We got some mountains. Look at that. Look at that beauty. Look at that nature. And then let's see if we could get it here. Can we? A little bit. You can see a little bit of the valley there. I don't know why things look so flat. Wow, I really killed the viewers on this episode. Good job. Hey, guess what people don't like? Walking around. You lazy bastards. But yeah. Let's see. We only have 1:50 left, guys. Yeah, Caitlin loves walking. Caitlin's a good one. Let's see. I like that little wall thing. That's really cute. I enjoy that. Yes, it is very much wow. It's very much a wow. Good times. Yeah, so there's a lot of packing and situating things that have to happen. So between the supplies and books that I have here, and clothes. I really don't have a lot of stuff here, but there is a lot of stuff in storage. And so that is going to be a uh, fun little thing. Oh my gosh, this countdown is just too much for me. We're almost at 30 seconds, guys. My God. What are we going to do for 30 seconds? That sounds like I'm on a date. Oh, wow. Let's see. A little Blair Witchy, The Walking. How dare you? You try holding a laptop in your not dominant hand and walk through sand. It's very difficult. Okay, guys, I will see you on the other side. Bye bye.